Kornegay Sr.
I'm glad to be here in Michigan. This has been a great event. We're just getting started. You get a chance to hear from me again at the end of the session today. But I'm really so excited about the direction of Primerica. How do you guys feel good about Primerica and what's going on in the company overall? New month, month of April, all in April. This is the time to do it. I was telling you guys yesterday, my anniversary of the company, yesterday, I got licensed April Fool's Day, 1988. So this is now 28 years I've been licensed with the company. I'm still 28 years old, not really, okay? I'm 53 years old. I'm having the best time of my life in this business. I've learned so much, not just about financial services. I learned a lot about people in the business in the last 20 years. I learned a lot about business. I learned a lot about how to save money, how to spend money, the whole deal, Today I'm an author. I wrote my own book called The Preacher's Kid, so I do a lot of public speaking as well outside of Primerica. You heard my story yesterday. I'll tell more of that near the end of the actual session today. But I really want to just kind of give you a paradigm shift on really what you're here for. When I say here, I don't mean here, I mean in the company for. Now, obviously, there's a million ways to do Primerica. Are you with me? We've seen people make money all different types of ways. When I got involved in the company, there was only 2 positions in the company. Today we have rep, but we have associate, because you can now make money without your license. They didn't issue solution numbers, by the way, when I got involved in business. You got license, you were in the business. If you didn't have a license, you were not in the business. Okay, there was no pay a fee and instant gratification. It was you're not in the company unless you actually get your license. Now, I got involved in the company. I saw Primerica August of '87, okay, when I went to my first A.L. Williams meeting, okay? So August of '87, I put my IBA in. I didn't get my actual code number, not a solution number, code number. That means I was not on the system until April of '88. So I was in the company 8 months before I got my insurance license. I never missed a meeting. I started recruiting people from day one. I didn't care about the money. Even though I wanted to get paid, I did not come here to work for free. My dad was a pastor. I already worked with a not-for-profit organization, okay? So I did come here to make a profit. But I came here to really build residual income. Well, that's what I want. I've never heard that word before. Who like to be financially independent? Financially independent, right? Where money is not a problem anymore. Where money is not a problem anymore. There's only 2 ways to become financially independent. People at work and money at work. People at work and money at work. And your job and your boss, the ones that still have jobs, we're praying for you, you sinners. Your boss, your corporation, figured that out a long time ago. People at work and money at work offers freedom to the founders. Companies are major corporations or individuals. When you guys are selling mutual funds, right? And when you're selling mutual funds, you're actually providing ownership in the companies that's in that portfolio of funds. Now, we don't use those words most of the time, right? But when you're actually selling a mutual fund, and in that mutual fund are 600 companies, technically speaking, you're selling me ownership. You're telling me I can have ownership in Apple. I can have ownership in Ford. Yes or no? Because I am a shareholder. But if I buy 1 share or 1,000,000 shares, I have ownership in that company. But why would a person buy stock? Why would a person even do that? Why would a person buy a mutual fund? Because they want ownership too. They want a piece of the action too. They want to create residual income. Yes or no? Yes or no? I mean, that's really what you're selling people on. You're saying, hey, buy term. If you die too soon, your family taken care of. If you live a long time, you have some residual income. People at work and money at work. See, I believe in what Primerica do. I'm a beneficiary twice. I lost my dad in 1996. He was a Primerica client. He was 65 years old when I got involved in this company. My dad was actually 30 years older than me, about 40 years older than me. Okay, so my dad was 40 when he had me. My dad was born in 1923, I was born in 1963. When I got involved in Primerica, I got licensed, I was 25 years old. My dad was 65 years old. I told you, yes, my mother was 15 years younger than my dad. Okay, so when I got involved in business, dad's 65 and mom was like age 50. So we put a term policy on my dad. He can only qualify for a 10-year term. Put a 20-year level term on my mom. Because at that time we only sold 20-year level terms. So mom got a 20-year level term, dad got a 10-year level term. My father was healthy. My father is the old school guy, which means he don't believe in doctors. My father believed you go to the doctor, you're gonna die. Okay? Most men can relate to that, right? If you go to the doctor, you're gonna die. And so he was the kind of guy, you know, if he got sick, he just tough it out. And so I've never seen my father ever in the hospital. As a matter of fact, when I was a kid, my father told me and my brothers, if I ever go to the hospital, I'm not coming out. Words have power, be careful what you say. That's exactly what happened. Okay? He went to the hospital because they told him that he had a minor heart attack. Now he didn't know he had a heart attack. They tell me, son, I had a heart attack. And I asked mom, who called the fire department, 911? She said, your dad did. I go, dad called 911? Or did you call 911? She said, no, dad called 911. I knew that was a bad situation. He stayed in the hospital for 7 days, and they said to my dad, we could do two things. We could do an angio, or we could do bypass surgery. And they showed him a video on how bypass surgery is a 4-hour process. It's in and out. They showed another video on how the angio works. I said, well, Dad, what are you going to do? He said, I'm going to do the angio, because I don't like major surgery. So we prayed for my dad that night, went home, all got up in the morning, went back to the hospital to be with him as he goes through surgery at 7 o'clock in the morning. We all got to pray for him again. Dad's talking like I'm talking to you. Goes into surgery. We walked in and said, Dad, great surgery? He said, yeah. They showed me a video last night of how bypass surgery works. I'm not going to do the angio, I'm going to do the bypass surgery. I go, well, you told me last night you were doing the angio. Why are you doing bypass? So they showed me a video. He says, and they told me if I have bypass surgery, I can get it up longer. I go, Dad, my wife's in the room. Can't talk like that. And he joked, just like you're laughing. He joked, and he jokes, right? And he goes into surgery, and he never comes out. He had a 10-year term with Primerica. He died 8 years into being a Primerica client. That was tragic for us because it wasn't allowed. Remember, Dad's never been sick. It wasn't like he was sick in battle situations. He never been in the hospital. There's no medical records on my father, period. So that was devastating to my mother, to me and my brothers, but Primerica delivered for my family. In 7 days, Federal Express knocked on the door and gave my mother an envelope. She opened it, and there's a checkbook with $250,000 in it. My mother's never seen that kind of money in her life. And Primerica paid that claim. Well, 2 years ago, my mom went home to be with the Lord. 2.5 years ago. So I believe in a term product. I'm an evangelist for term insurance. I was an evangelist already, but you can't tell me that Primerica is not the greatest company on planet Earth. We don't sell soap, we don't sell vitamins, we don't sell coffee, we don't sell diet pills. We make a difference. We make a difference. And I'm not here to judge anybody. So if you're selling coffee and you're building your downline and you're selling healthy tea and you're selling whatever you're selling, hey, do whatever you do. But people don't lose sleep at night over how much tea they have in their pantry. People don't lose sleep at night over how much soap they have in their laundry room. 80% of all divorces is because of financial arguments. 80% of all divorces is because of financial arguments. And you think about how many families are being ripped apart right now as we speak because the family is ignorant about how money works. And what does ignorant mean? They ignore it. They're ignoring it. And what we are evangelists who teach people how money works. Insurance is a major piece. You die too soon, your family's taken care of. You live a long time, right? We want to make sure that when you decide to retire from your job, that you can sustain your lifestyle and have a great life. But for you folks that are in this room today, that is not your game plan. That's the game plan for the working man who's going to work for the post office for 40 years. And he needs to get term insurance, a 35 global term, if he's under 40 years old. And he needs to start a fully funded IRA for him and his wife. Yes or no? Yes or no? We believe in that, yes or no? That's our model. Term insurance, you die too soon, your wife and kids taken care of. But also start saving some money for the rainy day funds, emergency fund. But also have that long-term investment as well. So when you retire at age 65 from the post office, and you walk out of the post office, you don't have to change your lifestyle. You can continue your lifestyle, are you with me, until God takes you home. That's our concept. But that does not apply to us anymore, Cheryl. That does not apply to us. What? That doesn't apply to you. What do you mean? Are you blaspheming right now? Are you telling me that Primerica, my term, doesn't apply to me? I'm telling everybody, Gary, this is the way it goes. That's for the working class people. You guys are business owners. Business owners don't have the game plan. You know why? Because you're not going to work for 40 years for somebody else. I want to have heaven on earth. I want to enjoy my time. Hey, look, here's my game plan. I'm not throwing it on you. Well, I got a family, right? And we've had our family meetings. It goes like this. Hey, son. Hey, daughter. Hey, honey. I got life insurance. One thing I know about Primerica, they pay. Right. That's what I know about Primerica. They pay. Okay, so keep me insured. Don't miss a payment. Are you with me? If I lose my mind, and I go crazy, and I'm close to probably doing that. Get rid of the Rolls Royces. We have about $1 million in cars. Get rid of the house. Let everything go, but you keep that primary policy. You understand that? But that's only when I'm dead. It only works. It's term insurance. Now, while I'm alive, we for the party, baby. That's the way it works. So while I'm alive, we're making 50 grand a month, 60 grand a month, $70,000 a month. We're gonna enjoy that sucker while I'm alive. We're gonna have some fun, we're gonna travel the world. I'm gonna watch you have fun, and watch you have fun, and watch me have fun. I'm not gonna die, and y'all have fun without me. Now, how are we going to do that? How are we going to do it? How are we going to have fun, Daddy? We're going to build a business that works so we don't have to. Our mutual fund is our business. We're going to take our money, we're going to pour it into our people. We're going to have potlucks and partnership meetings, and we're going to go to Disneyland with about 100 people. We ain't never going to go nowhere without taking somebody with us. We're going to give people the lifestyle, expose them to it. That makes sense? I told my wife, the first real nice house we bought, I said, this house is not ours. It's for our team. This is a frat house. We can sleep in the room over there. Because we want to expose our people to the lifestyle. We're from the inner city. We're from the hood, baby. Are you with me? People only get exposed. Hey, look, folks, I live in South Central. If you ain't never been to LA, South Central, you know, it's a big area, okay? But did you know that 20 minutes from my front door, South Central LA, the hood, 20 minutes west is Beverly Hills. 20 minutes. Folks, there are people in South Central LA that have never been to Beverly Hills. I have nephews that are still living in South Central. They have never been to Beverly Hills. Because the barbed wires and chains are on their brains. They get to the curb, to right there where Beverly Hills at, and they turn around and go back. Get it? Yeah. When they go eat, they eat in the neighborhood. But they don't know, they can still go to the same Kentucky Fried Chicken in Beverly Hills. The price are the same. But they don't want to migrate into that area because it makes them feel uncomfortable. They don't think they deserve. So I had a rule, and I still have a rule, that we have a business. Our business is our greatest future fund. We're going to pour into our people. And when God is God, and He can't lie. Man lie, women lie, God don't lie. If God is God, and we pour into humans, if that's God's lie, we pour into humans and help them become successful, we'll be taken care of. And Kornegay's comp plan is designed exactly to do exactly that. Our comp plan is for the giver. Our comp plan is not designed for the taker. That's why insurance agents, salespeople, they don't like America. You try to hire a salesperson? Do I gotta hire people? We don't have to. We can actually make money. Okay, but how do I get to the top level without hiring anybody? Like, can't you start me at 110%? Because the other company offers me 110% over there, and I don't have to hire anybody. Isn't Art a genius? He designed a company where it scares salespeople. It attracts people. People like people, they love the business. They love the business. Because our comp plan is designed to benefit you. If you're going to help somebody get what they want. Now, I know as a Christian, that sounds so cliche-ish. And help people get what they want. Right? That doesn't work. I'm a preacher's kid. Are you with me? So you can imagine my whole life. There's never been a Sunday that we didn't have somebody in our house having dinner. And I'm talking about a homeless person, a drug addict. There was never a Sunday that I can remember that there was not somebody in our house. Somebody walks to the church, off the streets, homeless, all kind of personal problems, mental problems, walking off the street in the church. I knew that guy was going to be at my dinner table tonight. Because that's my dad, that's my mom, that's their personality, get used to it. So I used to always think, God, my parents are great people. They're helping all these people in the community. My father goes to court and stands in front of a judge to help a young man in this situation, say, this young man is stupid, I'll watch over him, don't send him to jail, put him under my coaching leadership, I'll sign for him, I'll bail him out, I'll make sure he's in court next month. He's done that so many times for criminals, knuckleheads, stupid young kids that do stupid things. But I never saw a return. You didn't say preach kids are the worst kids? Well, that's not true. But in my family, it was pretty close. And you know, why do people always say the preacher's kids are the worst kids? Because the preacher's kids watch their parents give and give and give and give and give and give. I remember catching a bus to church. And my father would pass me up on the street when I pick up other kids. Like, you boys get on the bus, okay? And I'll see you at church. Where you want, Daddy? I'm going to pick up Sister Williams' kids. So we start going, this don't sound right. He said, so you're going to help them, but not help us. So my dad was helping out the disenfranchised. Most of his life was helping out people that were disenfranchised. So yes, we figured out as boys. So my dad's helping out the thugs, and the criminals, and the addicts, and the knuckleheads, and the... What if we become thugs, criminals, addicts, and knuckleheads? Maybe there's potential. And so getting to Primerica, I'm thinking, you gonna pay me to help people? Like real money. So if I go help somebody go district, division, regional, RDP, if they're better than me, So if I hire Ian Putner, right, who has a background, right, in public speaking, right, youth ministry, right, director of music, right, wow. If I hire a guy who goes to a big church and I go to a small church and we got 50 members on a good Sunday in our church and his church has 5,000, if I recruit him, his 5,000 members, I have access to those 5,000 members through Ian and Jessica? So if Ian got a college degree and I got kicked out of high school, does his college degree help my high school diploma? Yeah. So if Art Martinez speaks fluent Spanish, and I don't speak a lick of Spanish, and he gonna talk to all these Latino people and they all buy products, you pay me? Yeah. If I'm ghetto, you with me? And I hired this prolific salesperson named Hector Lamarck, who comes from a sales background, who ran a jewelry store. If I hire Hector Lamarck, who knows Tom Hopkins, How to Close, Anthony Robbins, he's a professional self-improvement guru. If I'm ghetto and I hire a self-improvement guru, the guru could be under me, yeah. Do you know how many people I'm going to talk to? I'm going to talk to everybody. I'm going to talk to everybody. I'm going to love everybody. How does this system work? It's real simple. Treat people the way you want to be treated, and you'll master the people business. You'll master the people business if you treat people the way you want to be treated. I didn't say treat people the way you were treated. Treat people the way you want to be treated. So when I got involved in the company, there was only 2 positions in Primerica. Seriously, and Art Williams, the founder, was running the company. As a matter of fact, me and Les Porter were talking about that. When I got involved in the company, you couldn't be on PFN TV. It was the A.O. Williams show. It was Art Williams, and maybe you'll hear from Bobby Gleason every now and then. Bo Adams for sure. Tracy Byers. Are you with me? It was Art and his crew that spoke only. He ain't gonna call Gary Kornegay and go fly to the home office. We're gonna push it on TV because Art was concerned about different messages. Now, some people, he's a dictator, he won't let me get up his feet, but he was protecting his baby from bad thinking or different concepts. Because Gary Kornegay has a different way of delivering a message than Rick Susie. Rick had a different way of delivering it than Ian Putner. Ian Putner had a different way of delivering the message than Assad. Yes or no? Yes. So Art was like, it's my way or the highway. So if you can imagine, sir, working directly with Walt Disney. Can you imagine working directly with Henry Ford, Conrad Hilton, Andrew Carnegie? Can you imagine saying I was in the room when he was teaching the game? So my Henry Ford was Art Williams. And he said, hey, there's only 2 positions in my company. Not 6 or 7. Only 2 positions in my company. RVP and RVP in training. So you couldn't go to Art Williams if you saw him in the bathroom and go, hi Art, my name is Gary Kornegay, I'm a regional leader. What's that? Even though we did have titles. You addressed him, I'm an RVP or an RVP in training. Now if you can imagine 200,000 people all believing that they're either going to be an RVP or they're an RVP. 200,000 people said, I'm an RVP or an RVP in training. So that means when you've got a whole bunch of people thinking that way, we're all in the running mode. Nobody's stagnant at district leader. No one's going to be a division forever. There was no senior national regional leader position. It was what? On the mark, get set, go! And you're running to RVP. Are you with me? Yes. And once you get to RVP, you say, honey, I'm home. Well, you come home every night. No, like home. What do you mean? I'm home. You come home every night, Gary. No, like home, I ain't got to leave no more. Now, hired to independent RVP, but you knew at that point, from that day forward, after I give up my replacement, if I hire Rick Susie tomorrow, that's mine. I hire Hector Mark the day I get promoted today, whoever I hire tomorrow, they become a rock star. I can still be an RVP and they can go and become an SNSD and Parent Records still pay me. My name is Debbie Trujillo. You never heard her. A lot of people think it's Rick Susie. It's not. It's actually Debbie Trujillo, Rick Susie, Hector Mark, Mike Sharp. And people go, who is Debbie? I go, exactly. Who is Debbie? I always see her name next to your name. Who is that? I go, that's the lady sitting in the back. That's Debbie? Mm-hmm. What kind of money does she make? About 25 grand a month. So how wide is she? One wide. What? Yeah, 32 years in the company, she has one committed direct. And he ain't no quitter. And I get jealous when Debbie hires somebody else. Because you know, Debbie tried every now and then. Gary, I went to meet my guy. I go, who's that? So Debbie's so gutsy, she brings her guests to my meetings. Is that like cold-blooded? Like, she don't do out nights, but she'll call me, are you in this week? Oh yes, I got some people I want you to meet. And she'll come to my out night. Bring 2 or 3 people. And I go, who are these people? Well, Gary, this is William, this is his wife Lisa, and that's their son, he's 25 years old, his name is Dennis. Can I talk for a minute, Debbie? Sure. How y'all doing, by the way? Nice to meet you guys. Give me a second. Hey, Debbie, how much more money do you need? Like, why do you got these people? Am I not taking care of you? I'm your sugar daddy. I've taken care of you for the last 29 years. And you bring these people in here? I told you I got you. I'll step my game up. How much more do you need? Yo, Gary, why would you do that? Because I was jealous of her giving her time to somebody else. I needed her to stay with me. Teach me the game. I know you gotta go wide. Are you with me? I get it. But if you can spend 2 years with me, Debbie, forget these other people. They're gonna quit anyways. Spend 2 years with me. Now, she hires other people all the time they quit, you know what I'm saying, right? But I'm the only man standing. But I have 17 RVPs. If you ask Debbie Trujillo, so Debbie, how many RVPs do you have? She goes, I got 18. Now stand right next to her. You got 18. What do you get 18? You plus your 17. Isn't that great? Yes. Isn't that great? Debbie Trujillo has been paid $5 million in override income on one person. Wow. Freedom! Honey, I'm home! If you're not RVP right now, you got to put some work in. Weekends are for weak people. Go to work. Call it the strong end. It's not the weekend. When your master, your boss, lets you off of work, don't go home and watch TV and hang out and cut the grass and get caught up on all your chores. The day, hey, you leave that plantation at 5 o'clock, as soon as you go to 5 o'clock, you got to become Superman, baby, Clark Kent. Take off that job uniform, that FedEx Express uniform, and put on your Primerica golf shirt, some slacks, and some nice loafer or something, and grab your briefcase. I'm sorry, your iPad. And Superman! I'm going to say, Slavery is still going on. Why would you say that? That's a nasty word. You should not say that. You offend people in the room. I have one black friend. The black people like, hey man, don't bring up that man, that's the past. That's the past. Move over, my brother. Past that. So I don't mean to offend. I just want to remind you that 1863, the Emancipation Proclamation signed by Abraham Lincoln, freed people physically, but not mentally.
Amen.
They figured it out. They figured out the system. Abraham Lincoln's constituents were like, what are you doing? You gonna let our workers go? How are we gonna run this business? Hey, we're gonna let them go, they're gonna come back. No, they're not gonna come back. We got chains on these people, man. They're gonna come back. Let them go. And people died fighting to not let their slaves go. And other people died fighting to say, let them go. But the bigger picture was, hey, take no prisoners because you gotta feed them. Let them go. How do I get them to come back? Man, we've been doing this wrong all these years. The Bible stands for basic instructions before leaving earth. And we read the Bible, and the Bible says the borrower is a slave to the lender. We're going to get these people in debt, and they'll be back on Monday. Loan them, this is a true story, loan them equipment. Let them go and loan them land, because they have nowhere to go. Loan them a mule. Loan them their equipment to plow the ground. Loan them everything. And guess what? If daddy gets sick, you ain't got to take care of him. He's not your slave anymore. Their paychecks, they got to feed themselves. Oh, so you're actually saving money, bro. But how do I get them to come back? Well, we're going to change some words. Right? Now this generation, we got to let them die off first, but the next generation, they don't do it willingly. How do you do that? We're going to change some words. First of all, we're going to take the word plantation out. That's a nasty word. We're going to call it corporation because people cooperate. Okay? So let's break that word. Okay? You can't make them call you massa. They're going to call you boss, supervisor, manager. You can't call them slaves anymore. It's not a politically correct word. It's offensive. Call them employees. Why? Because any word that has two E's at the end of it means somebody owns it. Employee, trustee, leasee, no equity in the company. The word employee. Employee. If there's an employee, there's an employer. If there's a leasee, there's a leaseor. If there's a trustee, there's a trustor. Call employees. And when you're done with them, 40 years, send them home. Why 40 years? Because back then, men and women were living to 60, 65. They go, hey, look, at 65, we're going to send them home. And we're going to pay them less than what they were making when they were working. We're going to call it retired. We're going to call it be-tired, but that don't sound right. We're going to call it retired. But you can't read nothing because retire means to redo. The word R-E, rewind, retire, redo, read. How do you going to retire if you never even started retiring? Like, you get that? So you think about the play on words. See, I hate corporate America, so I'm a great recruiter. I know who my competition is. My competition is anybody who's recruiting people into slavery. Anybody who's handing credit cards to kids on a college campus. Mama who's working can't qualify for a credit card, but Junior who's 18 without a job gets 5 credit cards. Remember, colleges are breeding grounds for slaves. The public school system is a breeding ground for employees. It's not to educate the kids. I hate to tell you that, but the public school system was created to train young people to take orders when they turn 18. To take independent thinkers. When my son was in school, because we're independent people, we sent him off to traditional public school like any parent does, right? And he goes to school, he's 5 years old. Here's Gary, because he's Mr. Primerican. It's you guys' fault, you messed up my son. Hey, teacher! Wow, that's a nice shirt you have on. Hi, teacher. What's your name? My name is Gary Kornegay. You're awesome. You need any help around here, teacher? I can speak if you want me to the kids. Sit down. Gary was like this, just like you were when you were 5. Hey, I'm just glad to be here. I've been on planet Earth 60 months. I'm just happy. Hi, everybody. Yes or no?
Yes.
I was sitting the teacher's walking your son and brought her to the car. He was very disruptive today. What? My son? Yes. What did he do? He just kept asking questions. I don't have time to answer all these questions. So guess what I do as a parent? Because now I'm embarrassed. Right? As a parent. Instead of tell the teacher to step her game up, I turned on my son. Gary, you can't be doing that. You gotta sit down and listen. You're embarrassing us. You can't do that, man. Have a teacher walking you to my car, all the other parents are looking at us. Take it back to school next day. Teacher, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. Can I ask you a question though? True story, I will not lie to you. Finally, the teacher calls us into the office and said, we want to talk to you about your son. Oh, what? We want to have your son medically checked.
Yeah, no.
Medically checked. Listen, if he was sick, I don't know. We have a doctor who wants you to take your son to see. I go, what's wrong with my son? Well, he doesn't stay on task a lot, and he does his work very fast to help other kids. So he's really not focused, and there's some medicine that can really help him with that. You're not gonna say the A word, are you? Are you saying my son is ADHD? Well, I'm not a doctor, but I think you have him checked. And my wife being a sweetheart, she's so compliant. Well, honey, we should have him checked. I go, we're not having our son checked. We're not doing that. We're not gonna put on his medical records that he is ADHD. So now I have a different attitude. I was being nice to you guys and give you a pass. So now I'm gonna show you who his daddy is. My son's not taking medication. You learn how to teach these kids. You're not going to program my son. My mother was a teacher for 50 years, LA Unified School District. Mama, they try to drug little Gary and give him something called Ritalin. Don't you let them do that, baby. Don't you let them do that. That's government control. Don't you let them do that. They will ruin your son. You take them out of school before you let them do that. True story. So we put them back in school, we didn't give them medicine, they didn't see no doctor, we didn't want any medical records, they didn't have that. Put him back in school, he's still, because remember, by the way, you guys screwed him up. Because he comes to the meetings and you guys go, hey Gary, hey auntie, and you guys sit like this and go, you're awesome, high five. So you mess him up. show up and I speak, and instead of saying, boys, sit down, you say, little Gary wants to speak. I don't actually say this over, hey guys, welcome to Kornegay. And then he goes back to school on Wednesday, and they go, calm it down, little boy. True story. My son's 8 years old. Teacher's coming to the car. But this time she's shaking. Well, I mean, you can tell that she had been. She was shaking like he cussed her out. She was. I go, oh, this don't look good. He hops in the back seat of the car. I roll the window down. How can I help him, Miss Sam? She's 25 years old, fresh out of college. Gary was very disruptive today. Gary's in the back seat going, Dad, Gary. Oh, I told you, when adults are speaking, listen. What did he do? He got up to wash his hands. Dad, Gary. Adults are talking. He got up to wash his hands without asking. He did this. He said, I go, thank you, miss, thank you, miss, thank you, miss. She won't do it again. Thank you, miss, thank you, miss, thank you, miss. She walks away. I never even pull off. I'm still at the parking lot of school. I go, Gary, listen to me, brother. You gotta do what they say do. If you don't do what they say do, Gary, they're gonna take you to the hospital and they want us to give you some drugs. They want you to be 80. You cannot do that. Listen what they say do. And watch this 7 or 8-year-old kid. This is God now talking through my son. Big old crocodile tears starts coming down. Remember that ugly cry? That cry? He had that cry. You know what he said to me? I hate school! With that kind of passion. I hate school! Why do you send me here? I learned more from you and Mom than I learned from these people. Why do you send me here? Why can't you teach me, Dad? I saw his spirit get broken, and I was helping the system. He snapped me out of it with that ugly cry and that passionate speech he did. I said, son, all I want you to do is go to school here. I want you to learn English, reading, writing, and math. You learn those 4 subjects. You ain't got to learn history. That's his story anyway. That's not even true. Close to discover America. I'm just giving bright psychology on them. That's a lie anyways. You learn those 4 subjects, I'll teach you everything else. I'm son, the reason I want you to school, because everybody in that classroom are going to work for you one day. You got to know how they think. So sit in the classroom, deal with it for a little bit. I'll get you out of here. I said, Pat, they're ruining our son, and we're helping him. We're making him feel bad about being who he is. They are reprogramming what God sent you already perfect.
That's right. That's true.
I'm going to homeschool my son. Now, here's the problem. I got kicked out of high school. I'm going to homeschool our son. My wife says, honey, I don't know how to homeschool. I go home, honey. Rich people, where do their kids go? These celebrity kids go somewhere. Google it. Find out where there's seriously. And my wife went on the internet and started finding out that there's thousands of parents that homeschool their kids. There's a whole organization that's against Ritalin and ADHD. And we became passionate. We became serious and we invested money. We became passionate about making sure the public school system don't reprogram my children. Because God don't make junk. He don't send them to mess up. We mess people up. So we homeschool my son. We homeschool Gary. His commute to school was from his bedroom to the kitchen table. Guess what happened? Stress went down. Because he ain't got to be where he don't want to be. The school starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. He gets off at 11 a.m. I'm his PE coach. Academics, I'm out, bro. Hey, talk to your mama. I'll figure that out. I'm back at 11 o'clock. We're going to the mall. That's the field trip. We're going to the mall. And we homeschooled my son. You know the kid that wants a drug? He's a regional vice president in America. He makes $15,000 a month. He's 22 years old. Okay? Today, he speaks. That young man speaks in front of thousands of people. He now goes back to his school and speaks at the school that wants to drug him. He now is on stage in front of 50,000 people at the Georgia Dome at the convention 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, introducing his dad on stage. Can you imagine the teachers going, oh my God, we were going to drug him. We were going to... Folks, why am I telling that story? Because, now, don't go to school trying to recruit a bunch of kids, okay? I'm telling you, folks, you got to get as passionate as I am about what we do. Entrepreneurship is the way to go. Being your boss, being your man, being your woman. You don't believe in yourself? Do you believe in yourself? Yeah. Do you believe in yourself? Yeah. Folks, if you believe in yourself, then go out. Do you believe in Primerica? Yeah. No, do you really believe in Primerica? Yeah. Then you go out to corporate America and you gut it from the inside. And you get your nieces and your nephews to sit in front of you for an hour with their parents. And you say, listen to me, this is the game. You can do whatever you want to do, but I'm not doing that. I told my son, when he was getting older, I said, Gary, if you want to go to college, you totally can. By the way, my son graduated early. Okay, so he got his high school diploma 8, 9 months before everybody else. Because he was able to do his work without distractions. He turned his packet in, we picked it up the packet, but he could do his work in the Bahamas, in Hawaii. Are you with me? If he had a problem, true story, my son had a problem, he would ask his uncles in Primerica. Uncle David, do you know how to do math? Yeah, little Gary, can you help me? Sure. How about this? He had Spanish classes. Our Spanish-speaking team taught my son Spanish. Are you with me? So Primerica help raise our kids. See, this is powerful, folks. You got to become committed. You want to recruit people? You got to believe that this is the only thing going.
Yeah, that's right. You
got to believe that this is it, baby. Come work with us. And Primerica won't let you down. Primerica's never let me down. They paid me more than I'm working. I feel a little guilty, not a lot, but I just go. Honey, do they realize they paid us $70,000 last month and we were actually out of town? This company is crazy. I'm gonna call the company and tell them, hey, you're crazy. I'm gonna go, man, keep doing it. We need more money, more compensation, better products. So do you feel good about this opportunity? Yeah.